A big welcome in, everybody, to Clem Gymnasium once again for Bevill State basketball. Tonight, the Bears facing off in a ACCC North Division game, and they will be facing nationally ranked Shelton State Bucks, coming in undefeated in the ACC Conference at 9-0, 15-3 overall record, and ranked 17th in the country. I'm Brian Hill, Sebastian Black on the camera with us in the studio. The producer and engineer, Woody the Professor Wilson, and joining me once again, Nick Norris back for a second game. Nick, glad to have you in. A big contest tonight for the Bears.
Oh, thanks, Brian. I'm glad to be here. Yeah, no doubt this is a great opportunity for this Bevill State game to be able to show off kind of what they're made of and what they can do to possibly a nationally ranked team. We hope that we can see them show out and do something against this team that I imagine maybe looking past Bevill State, and maybe that's an issue for them.
The last game out on Saturday, and this game was, of course, originally moved from Friday, but Bevill State went down to Coastal Alabama North, down out inside of Mobile, and dropped one 92-74, while Shelton State had a win against Marion Military Academy. They won 69-46. No statistics on the Bevill State game, but for Shelton State, Bernie was their leading scorer. He had 13 points against MMI, and overall he is a 13.6 point per game shooter. He's a leading scorer for Bevill State, for Shelton State. But Nick, when I did some of the background work leading into this game, I took a look at all the conference statistics. Shelton State, with the exception in blocking, are 6th or better completely across the board. They are actually 2nd in field goal percentage. So when you coming in looking for game preparation with a team that across the board is pretty good and solid in every way, it has to give you pretty worried because they do everything good.
Yeah, and that's definitely something you don't want to look over by any means. This is a very, very rounded and well-adjusted team in Shelton State. And Bevill State knows that this is they're an underdog in this. They shouldn't be afraid of that, but they should recognize it and take it as a personal challenge and see if they can prove what they're made of to this team, which hopefully that's what we're going to see tonight.
Well, we're going to come back with some of the lineup here for the Bevill State Bears, but we're going to take a 3-minute break, 3 minutes, and then we will return with opening tip-off, so stay tuned. And a big welcome back once again. Bevill State Basketball presented to you by the fine folks at Pinnacle Bank. We always appreciate them as our sponsor. Nick, when we take a good look at this, we see virtually everybody that we saw last game out when you were here with us is back on the court once again. So at least full roster here for this game against Shelton State. We know how that plays into so much of the pandemic depleting rosters across America. Fortunately for the Bears, looks like everybody's here tonight, and that's solidly needed.
Yeah, and that's something that you may not know until a few hours before tip-off who all is going to be able to make it. If never know what's going to happen. So now that this full roster is back together, they've had a couple games under their belt. They should be feeling a little more put together and a little more familiar with each other again, and hopefully we're going to see the results of that tonight.
Nick, when we take a look against a team like a Shelton, where there's seemingly no weaknesses across the board, what's your own assessment of what Bevill has to do tonight the most to be able to not only compete but pull away with a victory?
Well, Bevill's going to have to control what they can control. They have to do everything they can to the best of their ability. They may not get as many shots off tonight or have many opportunities as they had in a couple previous games. That's okay. The ones that you do, take your time, get it in there. And also just to remember that the guys on the other side of the court, they're also just young men, just kids just like you are. Whether they have a better record or what have you, so be it. At the end of the day, we're all still young men, all still kids. They can mess up just as easily as you can. So keep that in mind. Don't let intimidation be a factor.
And obviously turnovers and missed free throw shots, you don't want to see any of that tonight as well.
Oh, yeah. No, like I said, they have to control what they can control and be perfect. They're going to need to be perfect and essentially probably have some things go their way. They're aware of that. That's no shot at them by any stretch of the imagination. Just play your best game like you would every other game and see what the results land where they may.
Well, we're going to take one final pregame break. We're going to be back in 2 minutes with opening tip-off here. WJLX 101.5, Bevill State Basketball, brought to you by Pinnacle Bank. And welcome back to Bevill State Basketball here from Clem Gymnasium here on the campus of Bevill State. Bevill State Basketball brought to you by Pinnacle Bank, where the teams are huddled up both on their respective sidelines, getting ready for tip-off here. Nice night outside. Temperatures are nice, but I've heard we're going to be going back to another cold spell here in the next couple of days, and then we might actually rebound from what I've heard, maybe into the lower 60s.
Ooh, that'd be nice.
Yeah, I know.
Nice.
I don't necessarily mind a cold night, but a cold day's a different story. Here on the court, your starting lineup for the Bears: Gervais Peters, Carterius Evans, C.J. Beckham, Cam Scott, and rounding out the group, Cornelius Grant. That's going to be your starting lineup for the Bevill State Bears, as Cam Scott is at midcourt. He's going to be on the tip-off, and he has got a big warrior in front of him. This is Bernie, their leading scorer, and that's for Shelton State. Opening tip-off is up, controlled by Bevill State. That's Carterius Evans with the ball, and we're underway.
Well, he's who you want to have the ball in this situation.
You bet. Yeah, this is Peters. And working over to Scott. And back to Peters and over to Beckham. C.J. Beckham passes it to Scott. That's a three-pointer, and a good connected three-pointer by Cam Scott will give the Bears a 3-0 lead. Shelton State now with the ball. And this is Bernie, and he's going to feed it over to Williams, and we've got a whistle and a foul against, it looks like Shelton State. Offensive blocking foul, so Carterius Evans will inbound. C.J. Beckham awaiting the ball. Gives a little head tilt and says, Carterius, go that way. So here's C.J. Beckham. Now he feeds it over to Carterius. Carterius with a little kick out, three-pointer on the way, and it is no good by Cam Scott. A rebound going to Williams for Shelton State. The Bucks with the ball. And now a feed. And a kick back. Underneath, this is Bernie. He's going to put up a shot, and it's no good. Rebound by Carterius. Carterius quickly down the court. Almost had it knocked away from him. And now over to Scott. And now to Gervais. And to C.J. Beckham. Bears on top, 3-0 here in the early portion of the game. Beckham, three-pointer, and it is no good. A big rebound by Burnett of the Bucks.
Carterius is limping on the court. It looks like he may have to come out here in a second.
And let's just hope that that might be a cramp. A three-pointer was put up by Williams, and we have a timeout. So timeout, 30 seconds. We'll be right back. Turnover by the Bears. Inbounding will be Shelton State. Carterius Evans is being looked at. Let's just hope that it is a cramp. He did limp off the court and was favoring one of the legs, so hopefully it's not too bad. This is Williams for the Bucks, and he feeds that into Burnett. And underneath, this is Bernie, and Bernie is going to draw the foul.
During the break, he was actually given a warning by the referee to cut it out. Not sure what he was referring to there, but
well, we never know. It could be some jawing going on out there. Who really knows? But Bernie's at the free throw line, and he sinks the first one. That does give the Bucks a lead. With so much of the talk going around, the on-court talk, you never know when something could be said and we wouldn't even know. So. But it definitely could happen, or he could have pushed off. Who knows? Bernie's second shot is good. And now the Bucks are up 5-3 on top of the Bears. This is Peters for the Bears. He's going to pass it over to C.J. Beckham, and Beckham passes back to Peters. Gervais feeds it back to Beckham, and now on the outside, here's Cam Scott. And now R.J. Stevens feeds it underneath. This is Cornelius Grant, and he is going to get fouled. Foul on the Bucks. So going to the line will be Grant. Has the opportunity to maybe draw this back to a even score if he connect on both of the free throws. First shot by Grant, and that's up and good. Substitutions coming in for the Bucks. Grant's second shot, and he does connect, so tie ball game, 5 apiece. And here comes Williams for the Bucks.
And this is what we were talking about, controlling what you can control. 2 easy free points there, and got them both.
Absolutely. So the Bucks, and this was a pass that went out of bounds, last touch by Bevill State. So the Bucks will inbound. Burnett with the honors. Lob in to Williams. And back to Burnett. Burnett on the drive, and that bounced off the side of the backboard. And they're saying it went out of bounds, last touch by Shelton State. Bears will inbound, and taking the inbound from Grant is Beckham. Now a pass over to R.J. Stevens, and now to Peters. Back to Beckham, now over to Scott. Lob over to Peters. Ball gets away from him, but he does recover. Now on the drive, Peters puts up the shot, and they're going to say it's a charge on Gervais Peters. The Bucks will get the inbound. Burnett passing over to Williams. Tie score here, 5-5, 16-14 remaining, and Williams on the drive, puts up the shot. It is no good. A rebound and a putback, and this is Chapman on the putback. Shot was up and good, and he's going to have the chance to convert the and one. Chapman lining up for the shot. It's up, and it is no good. The rebound goes to Burnett of the Bucks, however, kicks it out to Williams. Williams takes a three-pointer, up and no good. Cam Scott comes away from the rebound for the Bears, and now Beckham. Now to R.J. Stevens, and looks like we've got a foul. This is going to be on the Bucks.
We are early in this game. We're already at 6 fouls.
Absolutely. A 7-5 lead for Shelton State, and Beckham underneath the Bevill State basket will be inbounding. Now pass to Peters. And now to Beckham. They lost control of the ball. Now a pass off the steal to Williams. Williams sinks the shot. It's now a 9-5 lead. Shelton State. Beckham with the ball. And ball was knocked away by Shelton State, but the last touch by them as well. Maurice Johnson will check in for the Bears. He's going to relieve C.J. Beckham, and we have a timeout. Timeout for the Bears. And this is going to be 30 seconds. We'll be right back. Welcome back, everybody. Bevill State basketball brought to you by Pinnacle Bank as R.J. Stevens inbounded to Johnson. Now over to Scott for the Bears. And now to Johnson. And over to Peters. Now to Cam Scott. Over to Peters. Three-pointer on the way. No good. Rebound by Cam Scott of the Bears. They'll keep it in play and puts up the shot. He was fouled. Basket was not good, but he will go to the line. Will Cam Scott is shooting two. Cam's first shot, and it's good. See that Carterius Evans is back from being checked out. He's got his knee wrapped up pretty thickly there, Nick.
I'll have to keep an eye on that.
Yeah. Cam's second shot, and he gets it. So good free throw shooting already to start out the game.
That's 5 points for Scott and 2 rebounds already on the night.
Good job there, Nick. Keeping the numbers for us tonight. The Bucks working inside now, kick it outside. Burnett with control of the ball. Now he lobs it over, and that was Johnson. Now back to Burnett. Now on the drive, Williams. He's going to kick it out. And on the drive here, a kick out back and a three-pointer, no good by Thomas. Battle for the rebound. Looks like a foul, and it went, or did it go out of bounds? It went out of bounds off of Shelton State, so Bevill will inbound. 9-7 here, Shelton State on top, 14:28 remaining in the first half. Pass over to Johnson, now to Peters. Gervais passes it back to Maurice, and now over to Scott. So Cam Scott, who's leading the Bears in points right now with 5, and ball got away, but R.J. Stevens got it. Now he's going to pick up the shot, and it does connect.
Wow.
So R.J. Stevens keeping the head on the shoulders, and he's going to have the chance to convert the and one here as the Bears have tied the game at 9 apiece. R.J. Stevens. Oh, this is Grant. Pardon myself. So Grant with that tire and does not get it to go. That's a rebound for Dahl for Shelton State. So Burnett here. Now back to Burnett. And now to Williams. And now on the outside. Put up shot. It is no good by Johnson. Battle for the rebound. Went out, and they're saying last touch by Shelton State. So on the inbound, this will be Stevens, and he gets it into Maurice.
You have to give it to Bevill. They are playing very physical tonight.
They are. They're up against the challenge, though. Undefeated in conference play, Shelton State, who's also 17th in the nation. Peters over to Johnson. And now underneath to Grant. Cornelius drives and puts up a shot. It's no good. The rebound by Burnett, and Williams on the drive. Kicks it to Thomas. Put up a shot, and it's no good. They're saying last touch by Bevill State. So on the inbound will be the Bucks. Burnett looks like he's going to be doing the duties. Jordan Bell looks like he's checking in. Out comes Cornelius Grant. Burnett on the inbound. He gets it to Dahl. And Williams, and back to Burnett. Now back to Williams. Now a pass. And back. This is Burnett. Now another shot, and the three-pointer connects. That was James for Shelton State. Gives them a 12-9 lead. Williams with the ball for Shelton State. And now to Burnett. Thought about a three-pointer. Now he feeds it back to Williams, and now back to Burnett. Three-pointer. It is no good. Rebound by Dahl for Shelton State. And now underneath to Williams. He tried to pass it to James, but that's going to be a backcourt violation on Shelton State. Bevill State will get the inbound. R.J. Stevens will do the honors. 12:03 left. Shelton State on top of Bevill, 12-9. But the Bears are playing tough.
They are. They're not playing intimidated whatsoever.
Cam Scott will be inbounding. And this is to Johnson. Maurice surveying the situation. Backs out a little bit. Now a high post shot. Up and no good. Skylar Heiss, the Oakman Wildcat, manages to save it, but it's stolen away by the Bears. Now stolen back by Maurice Johnson and passed over to Stevens. Here comes Heiss. And now to Johnson. Maurice directing some traffic. Now he passes it over to Stevens and now to Cam Scott. Screen by Bell and coughed it up, did Cam Scott. Williams takes it. He drives all the way down the court off the turnover and punches it in. He's going to have the chance for the and one as he sunk the shot. C.J. Beckham checking in for Bevill State. We have substitution. Burney checked back in for Shelton. Cam Scott going to be checking out for Bevill. And here's Williams at the free throw line. As soon as he's done tying those shoes. So Williams will line it up.
Looks like we're taking our time here.
Yeah, had a little bit of a momentary break while one of the spectators came in. Now we're ready. Williams at the line. Puts up his shot, and it's up and good. 15-9. Shelton State now on top. Beckham passes it over to Johnson. Heiss back to Johnson, now to Beckham. And they have Beckham trapped.
Nowhere to go there.
Looks like we have a timeout. We'll call it a full timeout. We'll be back after a 1-minute break. Welcome back, everybody. Jordan Bell with a shot that was not good. A rebound by Shelton State. Their side of the ball, a shot, and this was put up by Womack, was no good. Went out of bounds off of Shelton State. Bevill State will inbound. R.J. Stevens to inbound it. And we've had another substitution come in for Shelton State. Holding this up here, 10:39 remaining in the first half. Shelton State on top, 15-9. And Johnson with the ball. He'll pass it over to Heiss. Now back to Johnson, over to Beckham, back to Johnson. Finally break the time stripe. Johnson with the ball. Now over to Beckham. And back to Heiss. Schuyler, three-pointer. And he connects the Oakman Wildcat with a beautiful precision three-point shot. Draws it to a three-point lead for Shelton State, 15-12. They have the ball. This is Jones. And now a kick out to Burnett. And now a three-pointer by Shelton State. No good. Battle for the rebound. And they're going to say that this is an offensive foul. Offensive foul on Shelton State. As Womack took the shot, but it was no good. Jordan Bell to inbound. He passes it over to Maurice. And now back to Bell. Now to Schuyler. And a feed over to Maurice once again. And this is Beckham over to Bell. Working against James. And we have a charge. Charge on Jordan Bell. It's going to be the 7th foul on the Bears. So inbounding for the Bucks will be Thomas, and he works it over to Johnson. Johnson with the ball. Now he passes it over to Womack. And now to Thomas. Thomas feeds it underneath. Hey, stolen away by Johnson. Maurice passes it to Stevens. And now a three-pointer by Beckham. It is no good. And Schuyler Heiss on the rebound tried to call timeout, but he went out of bounds. It's a good effort by Schuyler, but it just didn't work out for him. Thomas will inbound for Shelton State. Coming in, Cornelius Grant. He'll relieve Stevens for Bevill. The Bucks on top, 15-12 over the Bears. 8:54 remaining. Johnson with the ball. And he's on the drive, puts up the shot, and it's good by Johnson. Bucks now up by 5, 17-12, as C.J. Beckham with the ball. And over to Johnson. Now to Heiss, and back to Beckham. Beckham kicks out. Johnson on the three-pointer, and it is good. Another rifle precision one shot by the Bears. It's now a 2-point lead for the Bucks, 17-15. Johnson passes it over to James. James on the drive, and they say it was knocked out of bounds, but last touch by the Bears, so Shelton State will inbound. Johnson to do the inbounding duty. Passes it out to Burney. And back to James. James kicks it over once again, and that was Womack. Saying out of bounds once again. You know, last touch by Bevill State.
Bevill is playing a very good game, especially considering their star player, Carterius, over there on the sideline still. Has that wrapped around his knee. We'll see if he comes back, but even without him, they haven't seemed to miss a beat just yet.
Yeah, they're working hard. They really are, Nick. Much to their credit. Inbounding is Burnett. And he'll inbound to Johnson. Johnson driving, puts up the shot. It's no good. A putback, and that was good by Burney, leading scorer for the Bucks. Now a 19-15 lead, Shelton State on top. 7:37 remaining in the half. C.J. Beckham with the ball. He'll pass it over to Heiss. And good screen by Grant. Puts up the shot. Did Heiss. It's no good. Rebound by Williams. He's on the drive. Tried an alley-oop. Did Shelton State to get it to Bernie, but it was no go. And let's see. I think the ball went out of bounds. Last touch by Bevill State. So the inbound will be by Burnett for Shelton State. Big props to Shelton State. Got the names on the back of the jerseys. I don't know of any community college team that does that. So hey, make a props to them.
I noticed that. Very helpful for us too. Big
time 3-point shot, and that does connect by Johnson. Gives the Bucks a 22-15 lead with 7:04 remaining in this first half as Johnson has the ball, passes it over to Heiss, and now to Beckham. Screen by Grant. Shot put up by Beckham. It's no good. A rebound by Williams. And down underneath, quick transition basket by Johnson. Looks like we have a timeout. 30-second timeout for the Bears. We'll take it with them. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Bevill State Basketball, presented to you by Pinnacle Bank, where the Shelton State Bucks are up on top of the Bevill State Bears, 24-15, 6:41 remaining. Bevill State with the ball, and this is Peters. He tries to get it to Beckham. It was knocked away by the Bucks, but last touch by them. And we have a discussion in between the referees.
Shelton State's been playing aggressive this whole game, but it seems like the last few minutes they've really been
They've turned it up.
Face. They have.
Yeah.
They are smothering this Bevill State offense.
You know, their rebounding is absolutely out of this world. I mean, everybody on their team rebounds. You're seeing the point guards grab good rebounds, the forwards grabbing good rebounds. I mean, everybody is team rebounding. They've missed some shots, granted, but you can see why they're good at just virtually every area, Nick. I mean, they're across the board. They're a very good team. Let's see what this call was about. Well, don't know what came of that discussion, but we're having an inbound by Bevill State. C.J. Beckham will be inbounding. And he inbounds it to Peters. Bevill State with the ball, now passes it over to Beckham, now over to Cam Scott. And over to Grant. Grant on the drive, and the shot is blocked by Burnett. Excuse me, that was Bernie. Now Shelton on the drive and put up a shot, good by Johnson. 26-15, the Bears trailing now by 11, 26-15. Peters with the ball, now to Grant. Working it inside, he tried to get it to Bell, and looks like they're going to call a foul. This one will go against the Bucks. So Bell will go to the line to shoot the 1-and-1.
See if Bell can end this scoring drought we've had here the last few minutes for Bevill.
Yeah, the scoring has really picked up for the Bucks. They've got a double-digit lead. Let's see if Jordan can cut this back to single digits with a 1-and-1. Jordan's first shot, and it's up and good. That reduces it to 10. Jordan lines up. Second shot on the way. It is no good. Bernie with the rebound for Shelton State. Passes it down to Johnson. Jordan Bell quickly got down there and knocked the ball out of bounds. So it's last touch by the Bears. Inbounding, and this is Burnett. Bell comes off the court. He was relieved by Grant for the Bears. Inbound from Burnett to Williams. And now a feed over to Bernie. And this is Thomas. Thomas on the drive, and believe the ball went out of bounds. Last touch by the Bears. So the Bucks will inbound. And he gets it in to Bernie. And they have Bernie trapped, and it's a steal. Steal by Beckham. Quickly coming down the court. Now he's going to slow it up a bit and drive. That was by C.J. Beckham. Shot is no good. A rebound by Bernie. And this is Thomas for the Bucks. Burnett passes it underneath. Bernie with the shot, and they're going to say a foul. This is going to be on Cam Scott of the Bears. So going to the line, this is going to be Bernie. Top shooter, averaging 13.6 points per game. He had 13 against MMI last Wednesday, their previous game. Bernie's shot is up and good. Bucks now up 27-16. Bernie's second shot, and I think that hit the front of the rim. Nonetheless, it was not good. Beckham with the ball, now passes to Scott. R.J. Stevens with it, high post shot. It is up and no good. Rebound from Peters. He passes it over to Beckham. And now on the drive, Scott, he lost handle on the ball. Stevens picked it up. Now this is Peters. And Peters, after the ball was momentarily stolen, got it back. Now this is Stevens. And the shot is up and good for R.J. Stevens. What a frenzied little possession underneath the basket that was.
Well, we were bragging on Shelton State's offensive rebounding, but Bevill State showed they can do it just as well right there.
R.J. Stevens with a chance to convert the and one. And cut this to an 8-point game. His shot is up. It is no good. A rebound by Thomas for the Bucks. And now over to Johnson. Bucks on the move. 4:25 remaining in this opening half. Pass underneath the Bernie, and it was stolen away. C.J. Beckham on the steal. Here comes R.J. Stevens. And now feed underneath to Cam Scott. Scott passes it over to Beckham. Now to Peters. Gervais on the drive. Kicks it out to Scott. Three-pointer from Cam. It is no good. A rebound by Johnson of the Bucks. 3:55 remaining in the opening half. Now a three-pointer on the way from the Bucks. It is no good. A rebound by Cam Scott.
And that is his fourth rebound on the night.
So a good job on the boards by Cam. Now Beckham with the ball. And of course, with Carterius out, the main rebounder for the Bears. And this is a steal by Johnson. And I believe we had a foul. This is on Cam Scott. With Carterius out, everybody's going to have to pick up the rebounding. And they've done a pretty good job with it tonight.
Yeah, they really have. Bevill State right now, they've got about 9 rebounds compared to Shelton State's 14. So they're sticking with them.
So to the line, shooting the 1-and-1 will be Johnson for Shelton State. We've had some substitutions take place. are about to take place here for Bevill State. Trinity Epps came into the game. Skylar Heiss also checked in. Johnson's first shot is no good. With the rebound for the Bears, it's Bell, but quickly stolen away. James on the shot for Shelton State gives the Bucks a 29-18 lead. Bevill with the ball. Beckham feeds underneath to Stevens, now outside to Heiss. Three-pointer, no good. A rebound going to Williams of Shelton State. And working hard against Heiss. Williams feeds outside. And now in underneath to Burney. Burney puts up the shot, and it's good. Shelton State adds another 2 to it. They're on top 31-18 over the Bears. Heiss with the ball, now feeds it to Epps. And now to Heiss, back over to Beckham. And now to Bell. Bell drives, puts up the shot, and it's no good. A rebound by James of Shelton State. Here comes the Bucks. And looks like we've had a whistle, and it might be I think they stepped out of bounds underneath the basket there, did Shelton State. So inbounding for the Bears will be Bell. Some substitutions once again. Inbounding actually will be Stevens as he gets it into Beckham. Down to Epps. 2:15 remaining in this opening half. Heiss with the ball and almost had it stolen away from R.J. Stevens. And I tell you what, the Bucks have some disruptive hands.
Oh, they are all in Bevill's face, and it is it's getting in their head a little bit.
Epps with the inbound for Bevill State. 9 on the shot clock. The Bears will have to be mindful of that as Beckham passes it to Epps, three-pointer, and Epps connects, the former Jasper Viking. Good on the shot. Makes this a 10-point Shelton State lead, 31-21, with 1:49 remaining on the clock. And Williams with the ball for the Bucks, and James takes the feed. Now he passes it over to Johnson, and now to Thomas. And feed underneath. It is stolen away. Peters with the inbound, with the shot try. It was blocked. And looks like Dahl will come in for the Bucks, and he will be doing the inbounding duty.
That's going to be Shelton State's third block of this half so far.
Dahl, another one of those tall mastodons. There is a lot of height on this Shelton team, Nick.
There are. Yeah, that's an advantage Shelton State very obviously has here. Doesn't seem to be impacting physicality at all, though.
A steal by Epps. Here comes Gervais and puts in the shot, and it's good. We have an 8-point ball game. Shelton State on top, 31-23. Minute 8 remaining. And here is Johnson for the Bucks. Johnson looking to drive, and looks like the ball was knocked out of bounds. Last touch by Bevill State. Shelton State will inbound. 13 seconds remains on the shot clock, pending the inbound. And this is Williams. Williams on the drive, puts up the shot, and I believe they're going to say goaltending on Bevill State. Inbounding will be C.J. Beckham for the Bears. It's 33-23, 44 seconds remain in the first half. Beckham with the ball. Now Peters. And now to Beckham. And R.J. Stevens. Heiss with the ball. Now a shot by Stevens. Up and no good. 3-point opportunity that went awry. Williams comes down with the ball for Shelton State. Shot clock is off. There's 14 seconds remaining. So Williams most likely looking for the final opportunity here for the Bucks. Down to 6. Williams backs out. Now got a screen from Bernie and James on the three-pointer. It is up and no good. So at the half, the number 17 nationally ranked Shelton State Bucks on top of the Bears. It is 33-23. We're going to take a 3-minute break. Bass will join Nick for halftime commentary. This is Bevill State Basketball brought to you by Pinnacle Bank. Stay tuned.
And welcome back, everybody, to WJLX's broadcast of Bevill State Bear Basketball presented by Pinnacle Bank, where at the half, Shelton State Bucks lead the Bears 33-23 on the night. Sebastian Black here with Mr. Nick. How you been doing, man?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm good. How about those stats so far at the half?
Well, with Carterius out for the Bears, they are without their lead rebounder and oftentimes lead scorer here. But the Bears have been able to get the ball around. 8 different players have scored for the Bears tonight. Leading the way is Cameron Scott. He has 5 points and 4 rebounds on the night. Behind him in points, R.J. Stevens with 4 and Maurice Johnson with 3. This is a team that this is a very physical team in Shelton State they're facing, and Bevill State, without their lead player, is still able to hang on. They're in a pretty good situation right now, down 10. That is a deficit that can be easily overcome if they come out and play their best ball.
Yeah, and keep in mind, this is a 17th nationally ranked Shelton State that Bevill State is facing here, so pretty surprising that they've been able to hang on here. But honestly, it's been pretty competitive on both sides of the ball. But Shelton's just had an advantage, though. Their numbers have shown the reason why they're ranked number 17 in the nation, and got to give props to Bevill here. They've been hanging on, and curious to see what they can do in the second half here. Is obviously Carterius is out with looks like what could be an injury. So without one of Bevill's key players here, it's I'd say they're doing pretty good here at the half to be down by 10 to the 17th nationally ranked team.
Oh yeah, this is being down 10 in basketball is not a big deal. Oftentimes, that's like we said, deficit easy to overcome. One of the main things we've noticed out on the court is the height difference, though. Bevill State is not without some tall players. You have guys like Jordan Bell, 6'6", Cornelius Grant, 6'6", Cameron Scott's even 6'6", but there are some players on the Shelton State team. I don't have their heights in front of me, but they are towers out there.
Yeah, I would say they're towers too, because they've got some pretty tall guys on their team. It's pretty impressive what Shelton State's working with here. But that is your halftime stats here. We're going to take a 3-minute timeout here and be right back here with a little walk around the area here, possibly some Walker County basketball, and talk about them Auburn Tigers down there, what they got going on in the Plains. So 3-minute break, and we'll be right back here. Welcome back, everybody, to WJLX's broadcast of Bevill State Bear Basketball, presented by Pinnacle Bank, where at the half, the Shelton State Bucks lead 33-23 over the Bears. Nick, let's take a walk around the area here, as we had a pretty big day on Saturday. The Bears traveled down to coastal Alabama South on Saturday. Their game actually was supposed to be Friday night, this past Friday night, and it got moved to Saturday due to the weather, some of the weather they had down there, some pretty bad conditions down there. But unfortunately for the Bears, they ended up coming out on the short end of the stick. They lost to coastal Alabama South, 92-74. Heartbreaker there for the Bears. But also Saturday we had the Walker County basketball tournament where started out with the JV boys where the Wildcats of Oakman defeated Cordova 47-38 there. So the Oakman Wildcats is your JV boys championship or champions. The MVP of the tournament MVP was JoJo Odom for the varsity boys of Oakman. We also had the varsity girls championship between Dora and Carbon Hill. We like to call that the Battle of the Bulldogs there. But Coach Blevins and the Dora Bulldogs had their team rolling I want to say that was their second straight Walker County championship. So they defeated Carbon Hill 43-29. The Bella Reese was named the county tournament MVP there. And then we followed it up with the varsity boys action between Cordova and Oakman. The Blue Devils took the championship in that. They defeated Oakman 56-48, and Miguel Lopez was named the county tournament MVP there. And also would like to point out that Dre Willingham led the Wildcats with 15 points, and Bubba Odom scored 10 for Oakman. But congrats to all the teams that competed in the Walker County tournament, and congrats to Oakman's JV boys, Cordova's varsity boys, and Dora's varsity girls team for winning the county championships. And then we also had some college basketball down in the Plains in Auburn, as Auburn defeated number 2 Auburn defeated number 12 Kentucky 80-71, and is now number 1 nationally ranked. And that is the first time in school history that they have been number 1 in basketball. How about them Tigers down there?
Oh, they are off to a blazing start in basketball. Bruce Pearl has those guys as on a great a start as you can ask for. Auburn had never been ranked higher than 2. I think 98-99 was the last time they had been ranked 2, and now to be ranked number 1 after such an impressive wins over both Georgia and Kentucky. Yeah, they deserve it. I mean, they are the number 1 team in the nation right now, and as long as they can go 9-3 the rest of the way, they should have the most regular wins in school history. So,
yeah, and the next matchup for the Tigers, they will take on the Missouri Tigers tomorrow at looks like a 7:30 tip on the SEC network. But you Crimson Tide fans, don't forget tomorrow Alabama tips off against Georgia at 5:30 with possible airtime at 4:30. I want to say we'll have that game right here on WJLX. So 4:30 airtime, 5:30 tip-off here. So make sure to tune in for that Crimson Tide basketball tomorrow. And I believe that's going to be it here, as we are just about 2:15 away. So, Woody, we're going to take a 2-minute break and come back here with the second half of Bevill State basketball presented by Pinnacle Bank.
And a big welcome back, everybody. Great job by Sebastian and Nick during the pregame show, during the halftime show, bringing you some of that great information. And we are getting ready for second half action between the Bevill State Bears and the Shelton State Bucks. The Bucks are on top 33-23 in the contest. We'll see what happens in this second half, what kind of adjustments will be made. I'll tell you what, with that ferocious defense of the Bucks, Nick, I don't envy Coach Cheatham having to detail how in the world you break down and execute, because those hands just seem like they look like Bruce Lee hands.
They did. You know, like we said, without Carterius out there, it's interesting. We wonder how he would impact this game. Looks like we're going to go on without him here in the second half.
This is Bernie with the ball for the Bucks. Feeds underneath. A put-up shot was no good, but the put back by Chapman is good. 35-23 now. Bucks on top. C.J. Beckham with the ball. Now passes it over to Peters, and now to Scott. Scott kicks it out to Peters. And now over to Scott. Cam Scott puts up the shot. It is no good. Rebound goes out to the Bucks. And this is Johnson. Johnson feeds underneath to Bernie. Bernie puts it underneath the basket. It's no good. A rebound by Scott.
That's his fifth for the night.
So 5 rebounds for Cam Scott. And it looks like the ball went out of bounds for the Bears. Last touch by the Bears. So the Bucks will take command. This is Williams. And now over to Johnson. Put up shot by Johnson. It's no good. Rebound by Gervais Peters. Peters on the drive, puts it up. It's good. He was fouled, so he will have the chance to convert the and one.
That was a valiant effort by Peters there as well. He had to travel quite a bit and not travel in the bad way, but he was able to get back there. No easy quest to the goal.
Gervais, who's particularly adept at driving the lane, did it there. And unfortunately, his free throw missed. That was a rebound by Chapman. So the Bucks have the ball with Williams, now working it back to Chapman. And this is Burnett. Inside to Bernie. And now back outside to Johnson. Now to Chapman and inside to Bernie. Bernie puts it up and it is in. Nice layup by Bernie. Now the Bucks up 37-25. The Bears with the ball, and this is Scott. Now he feeds it over to Gervais. Gervais on the drive, puts it up, and he was fouled. So Gervais will go to the line, looking to shoot 2 and get this back to a 10-point Bucks advantage. And his first shot was good.
That's his 4th point of the night. Let's see if he can get his 5th here. And he does.
5 for number 5, Gervais Peters, and we have a timeout, Coach Cheatham. We'll take a 30-second break, and we'll be back. Welcome back, everybody, to Bevill State Bears basketball. Shelton State Bucks ranked 17th in the nation, on top of the Bears, 37-27. They're inbounding the ball. This is Williams. And now over to Burnett. And back to Williams. Williams looking to feed it to the inside. Now he finds Johnson on the outside. Now Burnett. And put up shot. That's by Burney. Two-pointer does connect. 39-27 with 17:20 remaining in the second half. This is the Bears, and it goes to Bell, and now over to Peters, and over to Beckham. Scott finds Peters. Gervais looking to go inside. Now he kicks it back outside to Scott, who drives in and does connect. Cam Scott with the points, 39-29. Shelton State on top. Williams passes it around. Now this is Johnson. Back to Williams. Williams. Chapman with a three-pointer. It's up and no good. Rebound going to the Bears underneath. Jordan Bell slams it down. 8-point lead now for Shelton State, 39-31 after the beautiful dunk by Jordan Bell. Pass underneath to Burney. He's going to put up a shot. It's no good. Bell grabs the rebound and passes it over to Beckham. The Bears, looks like it was slapped away from Beckham as he was driving. They're saying last touch by Shelton State. Beckham will inbound. Put underneath the basket, and that is up and good by Grant. Now a 6-point lead. As Bevill State has whittled this away, it's now Shelton State on top 39-33 with exactly 16 minutes remaining in the second half. Williams will pass it to Johnson. Johnson works it up and connects. 41-33, Shelton State on top. Beckham with the ball, quickly moving down court. Now to Scott. Cam launches it out to Beckham and now to Gervais. And back to Beckham. Scott passes it over to Grant. Underneath to Bell, and they're going to say that Bell was fouled by Shelton State. They're going to call this one on Burnett. R.J. Stevens coming in for Grant. I believe Thomas will come in for Shelton State. So inbounding will be C.J. Beckham. And he finds Scott outside. Now to Beckham. Underneath to Stevens. Now back to Beckham and now to Scott. Three-pointer from Gervais. It is up and no good, but Scott grabs the rebound. He tried to dunk and botched it. Now quickly down court, the other side, there's Shelton State. Put up and in by Chapman. 43-33, the Bucks back on top by 10. C.J. Beckham with the ball. Beckham feeds it over to Scott. And now back to Gervais. Three-pointer. And Gervais connects. Another beautiful three-pointer. 43-36, Shelton State on top. Here's Williams on the drive. It is up, no good. A battle for the rebound. It's connected by the Bucks. Now put up shot, and they're going to say that Chapman was fouled. He's going to go to the line to shoot two.
Seems like Bevill's game plan this half has been just find a way to the goal. They are driving through anyone and everyone in their way.
At the line, this is Chapman. His first shot, and it's up and good. Skylar Heiss and Maurice Johnson checking into the game. And a little bit of a delay here. Chapman's ready. Chapman shots up. No good. Rebound coming out from R.J. Stevens. Temporarily lost it, but picked up by Maurice Johnson. Now this is Skylar Heiss. Back to Peters, and now over to Johnson. Heiss, three-pointer, no good. Rebound by Johnson for the Bucks. Coming down court. And kick out over to Williams. And now back over to Johnson. Johnson on the drive, had it ball knocked away from him. Last touched by Bevill State, so Shelton State will inbound. And 30-second timeout. We'll be back. Shelton State on top of the Bevill State Bears, 44-36. They will inbound the ball. Williams doing the inbounding duties. Now, and that's inside to Chapman. Chapman with the shot blocked by Bell, recovered by Shelton State. And let's see here. Did we have a foul? Not exactly sure what's going on here. The referees are having a discussion. Well, regardless, Shelton will be inbounding again. Williams doing the honors. And he will, he had the ball stolen from him. For Gervais Peters. Peters takes it all the way down the court untouched for the lay-in. 6-point ball game. Shelton State on top 44-38. Williams will usher it over to Johnson. Now underneath to Burney. Burney puts up the shot and it's up and good. 46-38 now, 8-point ball game. Maurice Johnson with the ball. He passes it over to Stevens. Almost had it stolen from him. Now it's to Heiss. Oh, and tried to kick out to R.J. Stevens, but Stevens was not quite there. So the ball will go out off of Bevill State. Inbounding will be Chapman over to Williams for Shelton State. 12:52 remaining, and Williams on the drive puts it up. Beautiful lay-in by Shelton State Williams. Back to a 10-point game, 48-38. Johnson passes it to Peters. Three-pointer by Heiss, and he connects the Oakman Wildcat with a scoped-in marksman-like three-pointer. 7-point game. Shelton State on top, 48-41. 12:25 remaining. This is Williams.
And that's his second three of the night so far.
Thomas pulls up, shoots. Bell comes down with the ball. Now it's Johnson for the Bears. Maurice will pass it over to Heiss. And now back to Maurice. Back to Heiss. Now to Johnson. Johnson on the drive, puts up the shot. No good. Rebound by Shelton State. Chapman. And now Williams driving. And he puts it up and in. Those nice little inside lay-ins for Shelton is doing quite a number there, Nick.
Yeah, that is what's been the difference here. Both teams have been doing a very well job of getting to the goal, but Shelton State is the one getting the points off of it.
It's a 9-point lead, 52-41 for Shelton State. Heiss had the ball knocked away from him, but does recover it. Now Schuyler looking to get it outside. Shot clock, and looks like a shot clock violation. Shelton will get control of the ball. 11-10 remaining in the second half. Chapman's going to go down court for Shelton and inbound. Williams with the ball. Now pass to Thomas. And now over to James. And now to Burney. Inside working Williams. Puts up the shot. It's no good. Burney with the rebound, and he used all that height to grab that one for the put-in. It's 52-41. Shelton State on top. Here's Gervais, other side of the court. Pushes it out to Stevens, down to Johnson. Three-pointer, no good. Rebound by Thomas for Shelton. James had it knocked away by Peters, but let's see who they're saying last touch. Last touch by Shelton State, so Heiss will inbound for the Bears. 10:30 remaining. Shelton State on top by 11. Passes it in to Maurice. Now over to Peters. Now to Grant. Grant, long two-pointer, and that's up and good. Back to a 9-point Shelton State lead, 52-43. Williams with the ball for Shelton State. Williams thought about the drive, now backs it out to Chapman. And now over to Thomas. Back to Chapman. Now to Williams, inside Burney. He's going to work it inside to Thomas, who puts up the shot, and it's in. 54-43, 9:45 remaining. Shelton State on top. Heiss with the ball, and had it stolen. Williams is going to drive all the way down and put it up. It's in. 13-point lead, 56-43. On top are the Bucks. Johnson with the ball. Now he'll pass it over to Heiss, and back to Scott. Now to Heiss. Johnson. Heiss with the ball. Drops it underneath to Grant, and stolen away by Chapman. Now underneath to James. James put it up. Shot was missed, but he's going to be fouled. James will go to the line to shoot two. Nick, it looks like that leg for Carterius Evans is propped up on a seat. Let's just hope. It's obvious we're not going to see him back in this game, but let's hope it's not any ligament damage or anything like that. Its knee is wrapped up.
Well, the good news is, and that point is good for Shelton State, the good news is that he is on the side there with his team. So if it was anything too serious, you would think maybe he would head out early. Hopefully, like you say, nothing too intense there.
James made the first shot. His second one is up and missed, and they're going to say Cam Scott went out of bounds trying to grab the rebound, so Shelton State will retain possession. Burnett is going to inbound for the Bucks. Feed underneath to James, and he will connect on a two-pointer. 59-43. There's beginning to get some space, Nick, for the Bucks. Biggest lead of the game, 16. Johnson with the ball. He'll pass it over to Peters. Now back to Johnson. Now over to Stevens. And stolen away by James for the Bucks. Lob pass over to Johnson. Shelton State with the ball. 8:28 remains. And this is James. Kick over and stolen away by Scott. Now a pass to Johnson and to Peters. Peters puts up the shot. No good. An offensive rebound put back. No good. Coming out with the ball is the Bucks. This is Burnett, three-pointer. No good. Rebound, C.J. Beckham. He is going to put up the shot, and that's up and good. 59-45, Bucks still on top. 7:56 remaining in the regulation. Johnson with the ball. Now Johnson on the drive. Shots up and no good. A battle for the rebound, and they're going to say last touch by Shelton State. So Scott will inbound for the Bears.
This Shelton State defense has been so constricting all night long, but now as everyone is getting more and more tired, it's just feeling more and more impactful every drive.
I would love to see the overall steals numbers for this. I mean, it has been, the defense for Shelton State has been absolutely ferocious. Now a two-pointer by Cam Scott does connect. 12-point lead for the Bucks, 59-47, and they have the ball.
Yeah, Shelton State does have 8 steals so far, compared to Bevill State's 4.
It has absolutely been crunching. Here's Williams. He puts up the shot. It is no good. A rebound by Chapman. Johnson, three-pointer, no good. Rebound by Peters. Beckham on the drive. He coughed up the ball. Got it over to Grant. Grant was fouled. Count the basket. It's good. Bevill State with a 10-point deficit now. But Grant will have the opportunity with the and one to cut this back into single digits. Trinity Epps now in the ball game. The and one. Grant connects. Now 59-50. Shelton State still on top. And this is Johnson. Working against Epps. Johnson pulls up and shoots. No good. It looks like we had an offensive foul against the Bucks. So the Bears will have possession. Cam Scott will inbound.
Cam Scott's been a major reason Bevill still is in this game. 7 points, but he's also got 7 rebounds right there with it.
That's what I was about to say. His rebound numbers has really picked up tonight, and he's answered the call. Johnson with the ball, and now over to Beckham and to Epps. Back to Beckham and to Johnson. Johnson had the ball knocked away from him.
A hard hit from a fall there onto the ground. Looks to be okay, though. Popped right back up.
Fouls on Burnett for Shelton State. Now Johnson with the opportunity to shoot 2. 6 fouls now on the Bucks. Maurice's first shot. It's good. Now an 8-point Bucks lead as Maurice will look to try to make this 7. R.J. Stevens. Oh, excuse me. Grant will check in. Bell will check out. Second shot for Maurice. And it connects also. So a 7-point lead for the Bucks. Bears cutting it down some. 59-52. It was a 16-point lead just a few moments ago.
Yeah, Bevill's refusing to go away here. Let's see what they do here in the last few minutes of the game.
Bears working hard. Williams with the ball for the Bucks. And the drive, and I think it was partially blocked. Coming away with it, that's Cam Scott. Now Maurice with the ball, now passes it over to Beckham. 5:34 remaining in regulation. Maurice with the ball. Now passes it over to Epps. And now to Grant. Cornelius Grant on the drive, and that was blocked by Dahl.
That is the 4th block tonight for Shelton State.
That height advantage is working itself quite a bit, not only on the rebounds, but on the blocks. Let's see, on the inbound will be Beckham. 7 seconds on the shot clock for the Bears. Epps will check out. Heiss will check in. And they're going to camp Schuyler right in the corner. So I think they're going to try to get him inbound to see if they can maybe get a three-pointer. Scott gets the inbound. 4 seconds left. And looks like a kick ball. Heiss will inbound for the Bears. He feeds it into Johnson. Now over to Heiss and back to Johnson. Now to Scott. Now three-pointer on the way, and it is up and good. C.J. Beckham with a critical three-point shot. We are now at a 4-point Shelton State lead, 59-55, 4:49 remaining. This is Johnson for the Bucks. Johnson on the drive, puts it up, it's no good. And they are going to say Cam Scott is guilty of the blocking foul. Just the third foul on the Bears. Going to the line will be Johnson to shoot 2.
We've been talking a lot about fouls, especially how many Shelton State has put together. They've got 27 on the night so far compared to Bevill State's 21. Not a huge differential, but in a game this close, that can be a big difference maker.
Johnson with the shot, and he does connect. Back to a 5-point lead for Shelton State. Johnson will get a second shot. Johnson's directing some traffic. Now he's ready to shoot. Shot's up and good. Johnson connects on both of those, back to a 6-point lead for the Bucks, 61-55, 4:33 remaining. Trinity Epps will inbound. Scott inbounds. And to Epps, now back over to Peters. Peters down underneath the Grant, and Grant connects. 61-57 Shelton State. This is Williams.
And Peters is in double digits scoring. He's up to 13 now.
Wow, good job tonight by Gervais. Johnson now passes it over to Chapman. And now working. This is Thomas. Now a three-pointer. It is no good. They're saying shot clock violation on Shelton State. Inbounding will be Cam Scott. Bears trailing 61-57. 3:48 remaining in regulation. And this is Johnson. Now to Scott. And now to Peters. And to Johnson. Three-pointer by CJ once again. This one is no good. Rebound by the Bucks. Williams. Williams thought about driving in, now backs off. Now on the drive, and he is fouled. So Williams will go to the line. And I tell you what, he is one of the fine rebounding point guards that I've ever seen. I mean, he is grabbing a lot of rebounds tonight for the Bucks.
Oh, he definitely is.
You don't normally see that from a point guard, but he's doing the job. His first shot is up and good.
Bevill State's been pretty clean this half, too, just 4 fouls. But as we get to the last few minutes ticking away here, might get a little desperate for points, and we might see them becoming a bit more aggressive and maybe throwing some fouls in there as a result.
Beckham checked out. Skylar Heiss checked in as Williams shooting his second shot, and it's up and good. 63-57, 3:08 remaining. Shelton State on top. Now Scott with the ball. Now passes it over to Peters. And now to Johnson. Back to Heiss. Now a feed underneath to Scott. Bounce back. And now Johnson with the ball. Now to Heiss. And back to Peters. Gervais on the drive, puts up the shot, and it's up and good. 4-point lead now for the Bucks, 63-59, as the Bears are working hard to get back in this game. And now a drive and a shot put up by Williams. It's up and good, 65-59. Shelton State with a 6-point lead. 3-pointer by Heiss, no good. Rebound by Burnett of Shelton State. Now Williams running the point for the Bucks.
Expect Shelton State to try to burn some clock here.
And we've got a foul. This one's going to be on Skylar Heiss. 5th team foul for the Bears. Heiss checking out. C.J. Beckham checks in. Inbounding for Shelton State will be Burnett, and he passes it over to Williams. Now over to Johnson. And now to Burney. Now back to Williams. Underneath, Burney. Turnaround layup is no good. A rebound by Maurice Johnson. Now a feed to Grant. And they're going to say that this was off of Shelton State. So Bevill State will get the inbound. 1:44 remaining. Shelton State on top, 65-59. Coming in will be R.J. Stevens. He will relieve Cornelius Grant. Heiss will check in. And out goes C.J. Beckham. So Maurice to inbound. And we're still having discussions on the court. We're having to do some sweat duty. Wink for a towel, but I'll tell you what, Nick, and I think you'll agree with this. There's one thing, regardless of the outcome of this game, Shelton State got all they could handle tonight from the Bears.
Oh, Bevill has played as good a game as they can probably play.
Johnson, 3-pointer, no good. Rebound by Stevens, who passes it over, and now to Heiss, 3-pointer, and the Oakman Wildcat with another 3-point basket. Beautiful, a 3-point game now. Shelton State on top, 65-62, 1:22 remaining. Williams with the ball for Shelton State. Now to Johnson. Now to Burnett. Burnett kicks it over to Johnson. Now on the drive, Williams, and that little point guard has absolutely delivered for them tonight. 67-62. Now on the drive, Heiss was fouled by Bevill State.
Up until this point, all of Heiss's points on the scoreboard have come from threes. Now he's going to have an opportunity to get some from the free throw line.
We have
No,
a discussion with referees. I'm not exactly sure what this is about. The Bears calling for a huddle while the discussion continues with the referees.
Just 55 seconds left, and 5 points is all that are between the leading Shelton State Bucks and Bevill State.
Well, the discussion continues with the referees, and we have no idea exactly what happened here, what's causing this discussion. There was a battle underneath the basket, and our vantage point doesn't give us much help, but they're heading towards the scorer's table.
Looks like they're getting ready to let Skylar shoot a couple here.
But this looks like it's either a flagrant or a technical because nobody's around. Could there have been a technical foul that could took place? Our vantage point just down on that side of the court doesn't give us a whole lot. We'll assume that this was either a flagrant or technical. To the line is Gervais Peters, who is all season long has been the Bears' best free throw shooter. Puts it up, and it's good. So he's going to shoot another one.
And that puts him in double digits, his 10th point.
And Gervais connects on both of those. Now it makes a 3-point game, 67-64. And still shooting will be Gervais. I guess this is for the regular fouls.
He has the opportunity to cut this down to a 1-point game.
Absolutely. The shot, Gervais. And that's up and good.
And that is huge.
That is a 2-point lead that has been reduced to 67-65, and Gervais has another one coming up. He connects on 4 consecutive free throws and is a 1-point Shelton State lead, 67-66. 50 seconds remain in regulation. Shelton with the ball, and we have a timeout. We're going to take it as well. 30 seconds. We'll be back. Welcome back to Bevill State Basketball, presented by Pinnacle Bank, where we have a barn burner here at the Clem Gym. Bevill State, once down by 16, has reduced the lead to just 1 point. They trail the number 17 Shelton Bucks 67-66. There's 47 seconds remaining. Shelton State with the ball. The Bucks will inbound with Chapman. And we have another timeout. 30 seconds. We'll be back. Bears basketball, brought to you by Pinnacle Bank, is back. And now we've had a change in inbounders. Johnson will do the duty for Shelton State. The Bucks. And on the drive, Williams puts up the shot, and it is good. We've had a change to the clock. Timeout. We'll be back. Shelton State with the shot on top of Bevill State now, 69-66. Bevill State will be getting the ball on the inbound. 39.1 seconds remain in regulation. The Bears will inbound with Cam Scott. And looks like the Bucks are going to try to press this as much as possible. No, it's just a zone with Skylar Heiss passing it to Johnson, now to Cam Scott. 28 seconds remain. Here's Peters. Now over to Johnson. Now to Heiss, three-pointer, and it is no good. Rebound goes out to Burnett, and they're going to foul Johnson. But that is just the sixth foul for Bevill State. So the Bears will have to foul again in order to get to the 1-and-1. Number 17, Shelton State on top, 69-66. Inbounding will be Burnett. And we have another timeout. 30 seconds. We'll be back. Welcome back to Bears basketball presented by Pinnacle Bank. Inbounding for Shelton State, who lead this game 69-66, will be Burnett. And he finds Williams. Williams is now fouled, and he will be going to the line for 1-and-1.
The clock down, 14.8 seconds.
So here comes critical free throws for the Shelton State Bucks. Williams to the line for the Bucks. He has delivered all night long. Will he deliver here? His first one is up and good. 70-66. And a very critical second free throw here coming for the Bucks. His shot is up, and it is good. 71-66, 14.8 seconds left. Maurice Johnson with the ball. He passes it over, and I believe it went off of the foot of Burnett for Shelton State. Out of bounds. Johnson inbounding to Scott. Scott, three-pointer, no good. It was an air ball. And unfortunately, with 2.7 seconds left, don't think there's going to be enough time here, Nick.
No, I do not believe so.
Burnett will inbound. And that is it. Shelton State got all that they could handle from Bevill State, but they prevail 71-66. Nick and I will be back to wrap it up in 1 minute. Welcome back, everybody, to Clem Gymnasium, where the Bevill State Bears have fallen to the number 17 nationally ranked Shelton State Bucks, 71-66. The Bucks will leave with their record, the Proford Conference records intact, and their ranking intact, but I think they're also leaving with headaches, Nick. How's those numbers look?
Yeah, they definitely had some headaches, and Bevill has nothing to hang their head about in this game. They gave them their all. It was apparent on the court. And without Carterius Evans out there, an even more valiant effort. Points-wise, Skylar Heiss and Gervais Peters, they led the way. Peters with 15, Heiss with 13. And below them, Cameron Scott had 7. And Scott, he led the rebound game. He had 7 there. Stevens and Bell both with 3 apiece. And Bevill State combined for about 23 rebounds. That's something that Shelton State controlled. They ended up with 29. And in a game this tight, that can definitely go the difference there. So still a very valiant effort by these Bears, but they came up just a little short against the number 17 team in the country.
Well, we appreciate it, Nick. Tuning in on Wednesday night, we will be back on the road and back on the air with Bevill State basketball presented by Pinnacle Bank, as Bevill State will be at Lawson State. You can tune in then. But for Nick Norris, for Sebastian back on the camera, and for our producer and engineer, Woody the Professor Wilson back in the studio, this is Brian Hale saying so long tonight from Bevill State.